Hello and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer, the board game review show that is eagerly anticipating the Spanish Inquisition version of Love Letter. My name is Cody, and hey kids, do you remember back in the 1990s the Tim Burton Mars Attacks movie? Me neither. But Steve Jackson Games has come out with a dice game based upon that film and of course the Topps trading cards. It's Mars Attacks, the dice game. The dice game from Steve Jackson Games, 3 to 6 players are going to try to get the most points by rolling dice. Now what you're going to do is you're going to have different cards that you're going to lay out on the table. Now, there is a difficulty card that contains 1 nuke symbol or 2 nuke symbols. For a harder game, you put out the 1. For an easier game, you play it with the 2. Then what you do is you divide a number of cards that contain cities or monuments into different stacks. There's going to be 4 stacks of these cards. Then you're going to go ahead and take out and place the top card in front of all of you as you are preparing to play. Now, these cards are going to contain different things. Now, some of these cards will have nuke symbols down in the corner, and that's going to be very important. But they're also going to represent, as I say, either cities or monuments. Now, if they're cities, you're going to want to try to take these things over by rolling a number of ray guns that allow you to take that city. Monuments want Martian heads. Now, the dice themselves only have 3 faces. They either have Martian heads, they have ray guns, or they have nuke symbols. Now, essentially, what you're going to do is, on your turn, you're going to look and see if there's any cards that you may have or that are out on the board that have any special rules. You're going to resolve them first. But generally, what you're going to do on your turn is you're going to take the dice and you're going to declare a target. Which card are you going for? You're then going to go ahead and roll the dice. Now, if you have any nuke symbols, you have to take those nuke symbols and place them on the nuke symbols of the cards in play. So essentially, you're going to look and see, you know, if there's a total of 6 nuke symbols out there and I rolled 5, I place the 5 on there. Now, if I were to roll 6 nuke symbols and all the nuke symbols were covered, I would nuke out. I would lose a turn. That's not a good thing. There's also some city cards that may pop up that may encourage you to roll nukes, but they're kind of rare. So essentially, I'm going to try to go ahead and roll those ray guns. More than anything, that's what I'm going to want in order to capture the cities. If I roll Martian heads, I can re-roll them, but there's a danger because if I re-roll a Martian head, I may get more nukes. That may force me to lose a turn. On the other hand, I may get more ray guns, and it's possible I may be able to capture my target city. Now, if I roll a number of ray guns on my target, but I don't meet the requirement, I can take one of my tokens and place it on that card at the number I reached. So, if I needed 9 ray guns and I rolled 5, I could place my token on the number 5. Then, when it comes back around to me on my next turn, if that card's still in play, I can choose that card, and then I would only have to roll 4 ray guns in order to take that card. Now, each of the different cards, city and monuments, have different point values, and that may influence how you want to do it. But they also may have special rules. Some of the rules that pop up are kind of these passive abilities that affect people when they are kind of in that lineup that you're all playing for. And some of them are abilities that are unique to you if you capture the card. Now, as soon as one of those stacks of cards is completed, there's no more cards to bring out. Triggers endgame, you finish up, and whoever has the most points wins Mars Attacks the Dice game. Mars Attacks the Dice game is a very interesting dice game. Of course, like most dice games, it's about rolling the dice and hoping for the luck that will give you. The luck you need to match the symbols correctly, and certainly in this case, hoping you don't roll those negative symbols, the nuke symbols, because more often than not, they are going to screw you over. So it's a push your luck game. It's a game of how far can I take this. and how far do I want to take this before I lose a turn and move on. And it's a race, too, because if you don't take those chances, odds are somebody else is going to get some of those high point value cards. So there's a very delicate balance in this game of how far do I want to push it, how far do I want to take it, and if I play a conservative game, I'm probably not going to win. But it's a fairly simple game, and generally I have to say I liked it. I think it's fun. You know, I've only recently started playing dice rolling games like this, and I find they are fun. They're fun, light, interesting little games. And Mars Attacks the Dice game is definitely a fun, light, and interesting game. It kind of reminds me somewhat of Roll For It, which is a little more straightforward, but there's a little more complexity here. I like the fact that you can pick and choose how to use the dice. You know, that is to say, you want to re-roll it, and then before your rolls, you can choose. You know, do I want to go for those big score cities? Do I want to go for the smaller ones, which I'm more likely to get, but there's less points? Or do I want to go for one of those monuments? And the whole time in the back of your head, you're just thinking, oh, don't roll nuke symbols, don't roll nuke symbols. And it's fun. It's a very fun, light, engaging game. I really liked it. So the recommendation for the discriminating gamer for Mars Attacks the Dice game is buy it. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. We ask you to please leave a comment here on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. We are The Discriminating Gamer, and who knows, maybe next time I'll be reviewing Venus Defends the Dice game. No, that's just stupid, I'm sorry. Or was it the most brilliant thing I've ever said? No, it was stupid.
Somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
You have
what I like
combat.
about your robots is I like that most robots are have high technology, whereas this one uses a spring for legs. I think there's a lot of that old technology that they aren't utilizing in robot technology as much as they should. And I think this highlights that really well.
Why not have a springy robot?
Right, exactly, right? It's like, I don't understand how robot hydraulics work, but I get a spring. I get that.